This episode of The Dog Show features Sara and Sam from Frank and Friends Design. Frank and Friends offers handcrafted dog houses and beds inspired by the iconic Brighton Beach in Victoria. They are personalised to every dog and created with high quality materials and fun and unique colour palettes. In the interview, we discussed the process of creating a doghouse so it is both beautiful on the eye, comfortable for your dog, and functional all year round. Sara and Sam, welcome to The Dog Show. Thanks for coming on.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, I'm really excited to have on. It's actually really fun to do an interview with two people on the other end because often it's just one-on-one, but it creates a different dynamic. So I'm really interested to hear more about your business. But one thing that really attracted me to your business, which is all about dog houses for anyone that hasn't seen it yet, is that you're inspired by your dog Frankie, and my dog is also named Frankie. Can you tell me a bit more about your dog Frankie?
Yeah, I mean, God, where do we start with Frankie?
Yeah.
He is such a little character. Frankie's a miniature dachshund and he's 1 year old. And like you said, he's the inspiration for our brand, Frank and Friends Design.
He's got a massive personality.
Yeah, he's so sassy and has so much attitude. And he's quite smart as well. Like, you know, when he loves the beach, it's one of his favorite places. And, you know, when we're going there, if he sees the beach towels come out, he's already associated the towels with the beach. So, you know, he's jumping around and wagging his tail and barking at us and
pulling the towels.
Yeah.
Like, it's almost as though he knows where he's going when he sees certain land points out to the windows. He's up against the window, he's wagging his tail, he's barking like he's almost human.
Yeah.
I'd say he's literally like having a child.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he's definitely got a bit of an only child syndrome, poor little thing. So we're actually getting another dachshund tonight, which is exciting, and he'll be named Fergus. So
Fergus, already named. That's good.
Lots of we're sticking to the F theme, but you'll see lots of spam over the next few weeks on our social pages with Fergus.
Also a new model for the kennels as well.
Yeah.
Nice. So do you think Frank's going to be all right with the new dog in the house?
I hope so, because he's not going to have any choice.
He gets a bit jealous, doesn't he? Like he loves being the point of it, like the center point of attention. But he's really good with other dogs. He's so loving as well, so playful. So I think he's gonna grow massively from having Fergus around.
Yeah, in my experience with friends and stuff, which have added a second dog to the household, the older dog often takes that older brother or sister role a little bit and kind of really loves the new puppy coming in. So hopefully it goes well for you.
Yeah, fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed.
So I'm glad you pronounce it Dachshund because I've always pronounced it that way. But lots of people call me up and say, "Oh no, it's Dachshund," or there's a few different ways to pronounce that dog name. So
I think it's down to region as well. Like I've got a few German friends, obviously being English myself. Being over in Europe, and they tend to say, a Dachshund, or, Americans tend to say Doxy. There's lots of different names out there, but Dachshund is kind of, the one what we've known anyway.
Yeah, and as you said, they got such big personalities and probably, so you can call them whatever you want.
Pretty much.
So you mentioned that Frankie loved the beach. That's probably an insight into the inspiration behind your dog houses. Do you want to tell me a bit more about how it all started?
Yeah, so it all started really during the 2020 lockdown in Melbourne. So in around September, Sam and I were spending a lot of time over at Brighton Beach. That was kind of in our radius at the time. And, Frankie was quite little at that stage, and he just loved it. We'd spend most afternoons going down to the Brighton Beach boxes. We'd have picnics there, go for a walk. And I guess that was one of the inspirations of the doghouse theme. Just because we love the colours and the vibrancy and, all the different houses along there, just, they make you so happy. So that was one of the inspirations. But I guess our second inspiration was that we found a gap in the market when it came to dog houses. So for Frankie in particular, we wanted something that, was strong and sturdy, something that he wasn't going to chew on and kind of rip apart, especially when he was little. He was just chewing on everything, wasn't he? And we also wanted something that was, visually appealing in the backyard. We were always entertaining, and his old plastic kennel, not only had he chewed it up, but it wasn't very good looking. So every time we'd have people over, we'd have to pack it up and put it in the garage and
put a blanket over it.
Yeah, we'd have to hide it. And I just said, well, let's just make something. Sam's a carpenter, so we originally, when we started the business, we actually just made one for Frankie, just for our own backyard. And that's when sort of our friends and family said, oh, you should start a page about this. And I would love one of them. So that's what we did. And here we are. We're officially a business.
Yeah.
I was going to say there must have been some skills in there, because I couldn't just go ahead and start building doghouses.
Yeah, it was a bit of playing around. We had a prototype or two, and kind of, we've got the original one in our back garden that we made. We've redone it a little bit to kind of bring it up to date with what we're doing now. But it's, it was a bit tedious at first, making sure everything was right. And, dogs are a massive priority to us as well. So making sure everything was kind of safe too. But that they are beautiful. They're very different as well.
Yeah, I think you've done a great job of capturing the essence of what you're talking about with the Brighton Beach colours and all of that. When I first saw your doghouses, I was like, there's something nostalgic about this. I just can't put my finger on it. And then when I read about the Brighton Beach, I was like, yeah, that's what it is. Like, it just really captures that.
And it's kind of close to both of us as well. Not only was it a massive place, like a massive, part of our lockdown where we'd go to exercise and kind of, like we said, take Frankie for walks. It was, we've got Brighton Beach boxes in the UK as well. So it kind of ties to Australia and the UK, which is kind of nice as well. So
yeah, you sound like you're from the UK, Sam, or?
Yeah, I am. I'm northwest, so all the Brighton Beach boxes are down south, but that's where we'd go for domestic holidays back home.
Cool.
So it's very reminiscent, definitely.
So how do you create a doghouse? What happens from the ground up?
Well, doghouses, I think I'll take this one, yeah.
I think it's for the best.
The doghouses they're very much like, like building a human house. It's framework, subfloor, it's got gables, it's all weather sealed, it's got rafters underneath the framework. So it's basically like building a miniature human home, if you want to say. It's the only thing we don't do basically on our doghouses is grow the trees and cut the timber down ourselves. Everything goes through our hands. So yeah, we get our timber ordered in, and from there on we just start to cut and process and put it together just like a human home.
No ducted air conditioning, I assume, though.
Not yet.
Not quite.
Not yet.
That'll be the premium, really premium level.
The Lux edition.
Exactly.
So what type of, you mentioned timber obviously is the core structure of the doghouse. What other materials are you using to build it?
Everything is more or less timber on the doghouse. Everything, it's all being checked, it's pet friendly. And then on top of that, we kind of give it our own reinforcement. We go over it, make sure it's extra. We treat it ourselves as well, so it's extra protective, waterproof. It's got good breathability, etc. But 99% of it is literally timber.
And how do you make sure it's going to be good in the winter and the summer months, and put up to all the conditions? You mentioned weatherproof as well.
Well, a lot of it coming from the carpentry background. I've got some kind of insight on how that works. But a lot of the materials, they are first of all treated to some degree. On top of that, we add our own touch, so we marine treat it ourselves as well. So it's got extra protection. All of our paints are exterior paints as well, which gives it that extra protection as well. And then it's all sealed on top, which keeps out any rain, keeps out any wind. But wood is actually a really good kind of insulator. It works well in the summer, keeping the dogs cool because it's got good breathability, but it's also really good in the summer. Did I just say summer, sorry? Or did I say winter?
In the summer.
In the summer, and in the winter, it's very good in the winter as well for kind of, insulating and keeping the heat in too. So it's it's a pretty good material to use all around.
I guess we're lucky as well in Australia that the weather doesn't fluctuate, to extremes as it
Yeah.
would do in other parts.
Yeah, well, Melbourne's kind of a climate of its own, but it is really good. The kennel's raised up off the ground, so they are shielded really well from the elements.
So how custom are each doghouse that you're building? Because you mentioned one of the reasons on your website was because Frankie was a strange size and a strange shape, as Dachshunds all are, that there wasn't really a doghouse out there for him. So are you customizing it for every dog, or is it more so you've got some set sizes?
Well, we're pretty much customized for every dog. So I guess the beauty about what we do at Frank and Friends is we like to sit down with our client and work out exactly what their dog needs and also the kind of space that they have at their home as well. So, for example, with Frankie, a lot of the smaller doghouse were really tall, but they weren't necessarily deep. And he's quite long, even though he's miniature, he's quite long. So, we wanted something that was a little bit deeper for him, not too high, because he felt a bit lost and he'd kind of be sitting in there looking around, wasn't he?
Yeah.
And, with most dachshunds, they do like to be all snuggled up and wrapped up. So, it really depends on the breed, but the benefit of having that sort of customization is we can customize it to any size or shape or anything really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's not all about the doghouses though as well, Frank and Friends. You've also got the outdoor beds as well, and some human-sized sheds as well, I noticed.
Yeah, so we do the indoor bed frames as well.
Okay.
Again, it's more so about having something that's raised off the floor, so it's good for breathability. It's able to kind of keep that climate for the dog, whether they're inside or outside. The beds can sit outdoors as well. But the beachside storage sheds are one of our sort of custom orders that we've had through a client. So she said, oh my gosh, we love the look of your dog houses, but we don't have a dog. Could you make some sort of like storage shed for us, almost like a mini Brighton Beach box? And Sam and I said, sure, we can do that, absolutely. And when we got to their house, they actually had this massive balcony at the back, didn't they? And we ended up putting 4 Brighton, storage boxes in a row on their balcony, and it actually looks like Brighton Beach up there.
And they're by Elwood as well, so they're literally they've got the beach and the sea in the background. It's really cool.
That's
it's a really nice space.
I imagine there might be some people out there that might want to get both the doghouse and the sheds at some point as well together.
Yeah, absolutely.
Definitely the full set.
Yep.
Yeah, feel free.
I think you found a good spot there. There's definitely a trend at the moment with dog owners wanting to get accessories that are going to add to the decor of their house or the style of their house inside and outside. So that's certainly where in the space you're sitting.
Yeah, definitely. Well, a lot of people do tend to customize towards their houses themselves, so they will give us paint colors of their render outside, and we can match it. So it's it's very much in. It's not just about the dog being comfy and warm too. It's about it matching their space. Like you said, they love it. Dog owners are crazy nowadays, so we're one of them.
Really.
Just out of interest, is Frank an inside or an outside dog?
He's both. So we've got a doggy door here. And when he's at home, he's inside and out. He actually loves being outside, which is why we also wanted a kennel, because at our old house, there was no shelter outside. It was just a little courtyard. So he'd always be out there and he'd come in covered in rain and, mud, and it was just a bit of a disaster. So that was actually why we did the dog house in the first place, because he needed some sort of shelter out there.
Yeah.
Cool. Is there anything else that people should know about Frank and Friends and the dog houses you guys are making?
I guess the biggest thing with us is, Sam and I make everything ourselves. So we actually do it from our garage, and, we're so grateful for everyone's support, because we've been able to turn Frank and Friends Design from a hobby into a business. And, we do, in terms of, I guess our main point of difference is everything is handcrafted, and, we paint every board, we sand every board, we build it together, and we just absolutely love what we do, and meeting all of our clients and their dogs. So that's pretty much. it.
Mainly the dogs.
Yes.
Yeah, you must meet some cool dogs, actually. I didn't think of that.
Yeah.
Are you exclusive to Melbourne at the moment, or can you ship to other parts of Australia?
We've actually just started Australia-wide shipment, which is
Okay.
very exciting. So we do now deliver across Australia with one of our trusted couriers. Obviously, we are based in Melbourne, so the delivery time is a tad quicker. And the good thing is we get to come and meet you and play with the dog if you are in Melbourne.
Yeah.
But otherwise, yeah, the turnover is quite quick as well with Australia-wide delivery too.
Cool. How long does it actually take, Sam, you to build one if it gets purchased today?
So I could probably put a full one together, within a few days. The longest part is just getting a good amount of paint on and, making them look as good as they do. That's the longest part. I'm pretty good with the framework now. I kind of used to it, it's muscle memory. It's second nature now, but it's, if it can get it put together in a couple of days. Sara does give me a hand as well. She's my apprentice now, so she's good on the tools. But with the backlog of orders, that tends to kind of catch up. But it's it just depends on the size as well, actually. So small ones are always welcome. They're a bit easier, a bit
They're
quicker.
a lot quicker.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how you go as your following keeps growing. Come, I'm assuming Christmas this year and those time is going to be really busy. So keeping up to date with that.
Yeah,
that'd be lovely.
You'll be busy.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Well, I hope so anyway.
Yeah. So where's the best place for people to go to check out Frank and Friends and see your dog houses?
Well, you can follow our journey on Instagram. We tend to post most of our photos up there, so you have a bit of a lookbook when you're wanting to pick your colours or your design or have a chat with us. Otherwise, we do have a website, which is also in our Instagram bio, and that's frankandfriendsdesign.com.au.
That's right. I mean, anyone that reads the show notes will have the links there for them anyway.
Yeah, cool.
Perfect.
Awesome.
Well, Sam and Sara, thanks so much for coming on the Dog Show today. I had a lot of fun chatting about your dog houses, and I hope some people can go check them out as well.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having us.
Will. Thanks for inviting us.
No worries.